Listo, empezamos ahora con otro tema. Esta maratón de Python está larga. Está larga, larga, larga. Entonces vamos a guardar. Pero primero tenemos que organizar. Tun, 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 tun. Entonces tenemos dos. Queremos una función dentro de un módulo llamado shipping. Import shipping. Punto. We cannot import name called tags. Cannot import name called tags from e-commerce point shipping. Is not defined. Así que no está. Acá. Code. Entonces tenemos un e-commerce, un package. Package. Why my Visual Studio Code created a file by cache. Good question. I didn't create the folder, but what is bytecache? When you import a module, Python compiles into a more efficient format called bytecode. This compiled version is stored in bytecache folder as a purpose faster execution instead of repassing the source file. Well, every time Python can load the precompiled file. Yes. Can I delete it? Can I delete it? If you don't want to be creative, for example, in clean code base, you can set an environment variable for a script. Ignore it in Git, add this in Git. Would you like to? Yes, you can delete to a folder, but when you will automatically create it next time for a module. Okay. Package project. Sí, J. Package Project. Y es el 10. Y con listo. Listo. Ya quedó. Git status. Deleted, modified. Git, git commit. Question, quotation marks. Package knowledge. Git push. Vamos a verificar que sí esté todo ahí. Cuatro contribuciones. Python project commerce, import. Listo, ahí va cogiendo cañaña todos los días, Ahí va cogiendo cañaña. Listo, entonces ahora nos vamos con generating random values. Random values. Python. Operadores, ciclos, listas. The structure of course fundamentos de Python. Curso de Python, herencia, librería. Creación de modelos y paquetes hasta casi al final. Son los modelos pero al final. Curso de Python Comprehension. Filter iterable, creando una gráfica. Comprehensions, funciones, manejo de errores. Y curso de estructuras lineales con Python. Array, not list, englet list, operation, crear una list que basada en nuevos retos simulador de playlist musical más allá de las estructuras lineales.
In this tutorial, I'm going to talk to you guys about the built-in modules in Python. So Python comes with a standard library that contains several modules for
Python. ¿Sabe hace cuánto he estado esperando llegar a las librerías? ¿Hace cuánto? ¿Hace cuánto poder utilizar una librería? Uf, tiempos de tiempos y lo logré hacer en 17 días. Y he aprendido un poco de cosas de verdad. De verdad que nunca pares de aprender. Me he chupado 3 horas y media en una semana. Bueno, Python comes with a standard library. Contains several
common tasks such as sending emails, working with date and time, generating random values and passwords, and so on. There's so many modules already built. Generating modules for common tasks such as Python comes with a standard library that
contains several modules. Several modules for common
several modules for common tasks such as sending emails, working with date and time, generating random values for common tasks
such as sending emails, working with date and time,
just sending emails, working with date and time, generating random values and passwords, and so on.
Generating random values and passwords, and so on.
There's so many modules already built into Python, and that means
there are several modules already built into Python.
There's already lots of functionality that we can reuse. We don't have to code all of that from scratch. Let me show you where lots of functionality
into Python, and that means there is already lots of functionality
that we can reuse. We don't have to code all of that from scratch. Let me show you where you can find this standard library. So open up your browser and search for Python 3 module index.
Python 3 index.
make sure to add the version number because the modules in Python 2 are different from modules in Python 3. So here we search for Python 3 module index, and the first page here you can see is Python module index for Python 3. Let's go ahead. So these are all the modules built into Python. For example, we have modules for working with date and time. We have modules for sending emails, for encoding values. There are so many modules here. Now, the explanation of all this is beyond the scope of this course. That really requires its own course because we have so many modules here. But don't let this list intimidate you. This is not something that you need to learn right now. As you work with Python, as you build more applications, gradually you'll get more familiar with various modules here. In fact, nobody knows all the modules in Python standard library. Everybody knows some modules based on the applications they have built. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use one of the built-in modules for generating random values. So on the top, we import the random module. Now, because random is a built-in module, we don't need to have a file here called random.py. So Python interpreter knows that random is a built-in module, and it knows where to find it. Now, if you're curious where this random module is stored on the disk, let me show you. So here in the project panel, expand external libraries, then expand Python 3, and then one more time, Python 3.7 library root. So this is a folder somewhere on your computer. In this folder, we have all the built-in modules in Python. So if you scroll down, you should be able to find the random module. There you go. It's right here. So random.py. You can open this, and this shows you the source code of this module. There you go. Now, in this tutorial, we don't want to worry about that. So let's go back to our app.py and use this module to generate random values. So when we import this module, now we have this object random, so we can use the dot operator to access its methods. One method that is very useful here is the random method, and every time we call it, it generates a random value between 0 to 1. So here we can do a for loop. Let's say for I in range 3. So just to refresh our memory, we are using the range function to create a range object. We can look through this range object.
Me perdí. Espera que no puedo ver eso.
And in each iteration in and access its methods. One method that is very useful here is the random method, and every time we call it, it generates a random value between 0 to 1. So here we can do a for loop. Let's say for I in range 3. So just to refresh our memory, we are using the range function to create a range object. We can look through this range object, and in each iteration, this object will spit out a value. So with this for loop, we can execute this code 3 times. Now let's indent this, okay? And finally, let's print the result. There you go. So we can see that in each iteration, we get a new random value.
A column for in range of 3 column and
between 0 to 1. Now, what if you want a random value for a particular age? Let's say random values between 10 to 20. Well, there is another method here, randint. We pass 2 arguments here to specify our range. Let's say 10 and 20. Run our program one more time. Now we have the numbers 20, 13, and 18. If you run our program one more time, we get different values. So 20, 19, 11, one more time. Look, we also have another powerful method for randomly picking an item from a list. Let's say we have a list of team members and we want to randomly pick someone as the leader. Let me show you how to do that. So we define the list of team members. We set it to John, Mary, Bob, and Mosh. Now we can call random for choice, and pass our members list. This method randomly picks an item from this list and returns it. So we can store the result in leader and then print it on the terminal. Let's run our program and print it on the terminal. Let's run our program. So now the leader is Mary. If we run our program one more time, this time it's Mosh. Now it's Mosh again, one more time. It really likes Mosh. Now it's Bob. You got the point. So the random module is very powerful and it has a lot of applications. Here's a very cool exercise. I want you to write this program to roll a dice. So every time we run this program, we get different values. Now we have 3 and 1. Next time we get 3 and
Del 1 al 10.
say program exercise. I want you to write this program to roll applications. Here's a very cool exercise. I want you to write this program to roll a dice. So every time we run this program, we get different values. This program to roll a dice. So every time we run this program, we get different values. Now we have to roll a dice. So here's a very cool exercise. I want you to write this program to roll a dice.
Dice.
So every time we run this program, we get 1. Next time we get 3 and 6. One more time. 5 and 6. 4 and 3. Double 1. That's a very cool exercise. So,
one, 6.
before we get started, I want you to pay attention to a few things. I want you to define a class called dice. In this class, we're going to have a method called roll. So every time we call this method, we get a tuple. A tuple, remember, is a list of values. So every time we call this method, we get a tuple.
The method we get a tuple.
A tuple, remember, is a list of values, but that list cannot be changed. We cannot add a new item to it. We cannot remember is a list of values, but that list cannot be changed. We cannot add a new item to it. We cannot remove it. So it's like a read-only list. So every time we call the roll method, we should get a tuple of 2
The roll method
only list. So
every time
we call the roll method, we should get a tuple of 2 random values. So
we call the roll method.
to go ahead and call the roll method,
We should get the tuple of 2 random values.
We should get a tuple of 2 random values. So go ahead and do this exercise. You'll see my solution next.
Está largo. Vamos a crear lo que podamos. Entonces arranquemos. Arranquemos. Pantier start. Create a class. Okay. Call dice. Yes, create a method called roll. When we call the method, we get a tuple. Una tuple es una lista. This number. Es una lista. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number dice 1. Numbers. Call roll. When we call the method, we get a tuple. Every time we call the roll method, we should get the tuple of 2 random values. Okay. 3 del 10 al 20 in, entonces quedamos for in, for number in, entonces aquí agregamos la fórmula. Random random. Entonces tenemos que importar el módulo. Entonces, ¿qué va a hacer esto? En el rango de dentro de ese, que son tantos, se le va a asignar a que se va a crear otra variable con dice 1 igual a no, total dice. Total dice. Total dice. Ok. Agregar los números. Pero cada vez se le va a agregar unos. No. ¿Por qué no uso? Semiotal 0.8. Entonces aquí solo démosle uno. Uno. Del 10 al 20. Entonces aquí pongámosle. No boto nada. Entonces no aprendí a usarlo bien. ¿Qué queremos que haga? Queremos que nos bote un número al azar de esto. Entonces, ¿cómo generamos el número al azar? Entonces esto no se puede. Entonces este random. Y entonces imprimimos 3. Bueno, primera pregunta. ¿Por qué el no se usa? Why the E is not used? It's not used. Good question. That is not using your loop because the loop only serves to repeat the print 3 times. In your loop, the variable is created as the loop counter taken from 0 to 2. but is not used inside the loop body. This is perfectly fine in Python. The purpose of the loop here is simple to run the block 3 times, and you don't need to reference it within the loop. Ok, entonces necesitamos aquí que corra 6 veces. Aquí necesitamos que corra 6 veces. 6 veces. Que los recorra todos. Del 10 al 20. Call roll. Okay. Method called. When we call the method, we get a tuple. Call the roll method, we should get a tuple of 2 random values. Vamos a guardar primero uno. Mira, entre el 10 y el 20. Practice. It's not callable. Therefore, numbering this number list object is not callable. Concatenating list, not interest list. 3, 4, 5, 6. Listo. Entonces, when we call the method, we get a tuple. Que necesita imprimir una tupla. Al 6. 6, 2, 2, 2. Entonces tenemos el primer número. Espérate. Entonces, para i, el rango de 6, o sea, en 6 veces, recurra a los 6 veces. Pero entonces imprímame solo el último. No me imprima todo. 6. Listo. Pero entonces no me lo imprima, sino agréguemelo a una variable. A tuple. One tuple. Entonces creamos la tupla. Igual a total dice. 8. Porque me está dando 8. 2, bien. 2. 1. 6. 4. 2. 3. 6. 1. 2. 1. 6. Índice igual a. Y in range.
So every time a top of, it's a very cool exercise.
Listo, entonces total dice igual a entonces it's not callable. Mm, First, comienza con 0. Entonces a total igual a más first number. Entonces, dice can only concatenate tuple, not enters to tuple. Con mi tupla. Ok. Y esto lo paso como una tupla. No. Print 2. Concatene arena value. Unpack and add for you can delete a table, but you can create a new table. Entonces tengo mi tupla. El problema es que lo va a agregar siempre. A menos de que quede acá. 3, 2, 6, 6, 4, 4. Cuatro. Ay, te tengo, te tengo, te tengo. Vamos a crear el Y ahora en range de 1. Solo me toca que muestre 1. Entonces aquí lo mismo. Second number igual a random. Ran del 1 al 6. Y ahora total. Listo. Solo necesitaba pasarlo, ti. Habrá otra manera de pasarlo. Pues es que, digamos, tengo mi tupla. Creé la tupla. Y le dije agréguele a un package. Desagregue, empaque. Desempaque mi tupla. Y agréguele el primer número que. Y aquí le estoy diciendo agréguele el segundo. Y agréguele el segundo. ¿Qué pasa así? 6 6 6 6 1 1. No siempre va. Oiga, pero este vamos a eliminémoslo. Esto es código restante. Preguntas por qué. Ahora preguntas si solo lo creé. Ah, no, vea. Porque aquí me crea otro número random entre esos dos. O sea, a ese agréguele, desempáquelo y agréguelo. 3 4 1 3. Listo. Entonces creamos una clase que se llama dice self. ¿Cómo se crea una clase? Recuérdame cómo se crea una clase. Entonces para animal, tan tan tan. El init. Entonces esto no va. Def init self. Listo. Self. No, no. Paso. Sí, porque no le vamos a agregar nada más. Entonces dice que create a class called dice method called y ahí creamos el método def party self 2 def role y tiene que llamarse self y este nos va a dar que nos devuelva este. Entonces create a class called dice, method called roll. When call the method, we get a tuple. When we call the method, every time we call the roll method, we should get a tuple of random. Okay. Modules, packages, module single from. Okay, es que yo acá había visto que me había hecho que de que de Python interpreter Python dice how can I create this package from Visual Studio Code? No. So okay, process. Modular package app, folder contain multiples, okay. Let's go create it. Can I delete it? Yes. Okay, a module is to store functions, variables, and also class. Yes, exactly. Module Python can store not only function and variables but also classes. It's a file with Python code that you can import onto other scripts. Entonces podríamos crear un módulo que se llame dice class.py. Entonces aquí podemos importar import y después podemos guardarlo en un paquete. Entonces esto package dice por porque es as okay. Entonces vamos a llamar dado 1 pues 1. Entonces vamos a instanciarlo. Vamos a instanciar dice. Se me olvidó cómo es instancia. Ok. Punto method. Un punto. Very good, guys. Y voilà. Instanciado. Y imprimo mi sprint. 1, 4, 5, 2. Entonces a este le vamos a agregar name, y aquí vamos a llamarlo self.name igual a name. Entonces Andrés y Anch. Entonces ya tenemos nuestro objeto. Pero entonces, ¿qué pasaría si what, what is your name and print? Hello. Name. Your dice is two. What's your name, Andrés? Me gusta que quede con esos espacios. Están asqueroso. What is this? What is your name? Angie. Okay, I created a package where I have the model with a class with methods, and I instanced two objects. Can I import that package and module and call the two objects instanced to another file to a new file. Yes, you can actually import the Pokemon model to a new file against the object. New file. Ok, entonces aquí es donde vamos a import package. Instance in objects in a function. Control over the objects are created, you can instantiate them inside a function. So at the most level you can import and access them directly in another file. Okay, importing models and functions. Good for variable code type. This class. Means that you are importing a model name is class from a package name. Means you are importing a model name that is class from a package and renaming it aliasing as a class for easy use in the current script. Function package, a package from Python is just a directory that contains, okay. ¿Sabes qué me falta? Copy. As this part of the statement is creating an alias. It allows you to refer to package class as a class. This can make your code shorter or clearer when the model name is long. Okay. So. Okay, aquí las instancias en el file. Okay, aquí lo tengo, my model. Print. Punto. YouTube. Hello YouTube, your Dices and Facebook. Favorite Dices too. Look it up. Una función se crearía como una función. Def create users. Y ya no debería funcionar. Entonces es aquí donde solo un book Marley. Hello book Marley, your type is okay. Then Donald trick. Donald trick. And that your type is porque aquí no está devolviendo nada. ¿Cuál es el que se usa por default? Instead of return to the console does not print none. If you unfilter the console, the segment function goes. When uncertain, what can it do instead of certain? Print. Side. First. Si es que se está arriba en funciones, ¿no? Functions. Statement. And this is functional. Return statement, write anything, emoji converter, try, tan. It doesn't return anything. Keyword arguments, parameters, functions. Bueno, le voy a pasar ese paso. Ya, porque no me va a aparecer eso. Book. Vale. We need another way to show does not return none. Do you think return? Directly outputs the value without returning and return. They return a default value check for none before printing the return. Free to share more comments. Crea lo para sí. Él va a preguntar el nombre. Ok, es esencial este. No, ya lo estoy complicando más de la cuenta. Y no me pidieron eso. Ya. Hasta ahí está funcionando, ¿no? Bob Marley y Facebook. Ush. Es que le pueden hacer tantas cosas, ¿no? Vamos a ver cómo lo termina de hacer este marica. Yo lo puse ya en clases módulos.
So, before we get started, I want you to pay attention to a few things. I want you to define a class called dice. In this class, we're going to have a method called roll. So every time we call this method, we get a tuple. A tuple, remember, is a list of values, but that list cannot be changed. We cannot add a new item to it. We cannot remove it. So it's like a read-only list. So every time we call the roll method, we should get a tuple of 2 random values. So go ahead and do this exercise. You'll see my solution next. All right, we start by importing the random module on the top. Then we define a class called dice, colon. In this class, we want to have a method called roll. So define roll, parenthesis, this automatically adds self. Now in this method, we want to generate 2 random values between 1 to 6. So we call random, the rand int, and pass 1 and 6. So this generates the first number. We can put that here. Now let's call this one more time. So I'm going to copy what we have on line 5, put it here, and change this variable to second. So we have 2 variables, first and second, with 2 random values. Finally, we need to return them in a tuple. So return parentheses instead of square brackets, first and second. Now in Python, when you want to return a tuple from a function, you don't have to add this parentheses. So you can simplify your code, and Python will automatically interpret this as a tuple. Okay? So we're done with the definition of our class. We remove the indentation and add 2 line breaks. Now we create an object of this type. So we set dice to dice. Next, we roll the dice, so dice.roll, and print the result on the terminal. That's all you had to do. Let's run this program. So now we get 2 and 5. Let's run it one more time. 3 and 2, 1 and 1. Beautiful. Now we have this little warning here that says expected 2 blank lines, found 1. Once again, this is coming from PEP 8. PEP is short for Python Enhancement Proposal. We have so many Python enhancement proposals or PEPs. PEP 8 is a very famous one. And in this document, we have all the best practices for formatting our code. So PEP 8 says that
PEP, HP, no, PF. ¿Cómo se llama? PEPH. This was my solution. Ok, entonces vamos a explicarlo como my solution. Bien lejos. No, es que no quiero guardar. Git add, git commit, m, project, dice, solution, upload, y git push. Pero, ¿qué es lo que necesitaba? Duplicate. Corregirlo. Pues class show. Tenemos agregarlo acá. innecesario. Innecesario volver a repetir el código. Don't repeat yourself. Y don't repeat yourself. Fácilmente en un código innecesario. Que no sabíamos que este marica no podría contender esto como una tupla. Vamos. Hello Mosh, your dice is 3. Hello Mosh, your dice is 5-2. Hello Mosh, your dice or dice. Hello Mosh. Hello Mosh. 4-4.
But after we define our classes, we should have 2-line breaks. We already done that. So the reason this is complaining is because we have 1-line break before the class. So let's add 1 more line break. Now PyCharm is happy. So basically PyCharm is following all the best practices defined in PEP 8. Now you don't have to memorize any of these best practices as you code in PEP. So basically before the class. So let's add 1. The reason this is complaining is because we have 1-line break before the class. So let's add 1 more line break. Now PyCharm is happy. So basically PyCharm is following all the best practices defined in PEP 8. Now you don't have to memorize any of these best practices as you code in PyCharm. PyCharm gives you a little warning, and gradually you will learn how to properly format your code so it's readable by other people. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to work with directories in Python. So here on Python 3 module index, you can see we have a
Files and directories. Qué largo camino. Bueno, ahí se ha aprendido diferentes cositas, hemos puesto en práctica diferentes cositas. Cada vez es más robusto nuestro GitHub. Vamos a ver cuántos git push hicimos. Como 7 contribuciones en las cuales tenemos, ese código ya está muy largo, les voy a mostrar. Python YouTube, aquí está nuestro repositorio de carpetas, Aquí tenemos Python Projects, tenemos 2 carpetas. Tenemos Package Progress, no lo guardé. ¿Saben dónde lo guardé? Lo guardé acá. Package Dice, toca guardarlo en proyectos. Moving Package Dice. Entonces aquí está el mío, Dice Class. Pero este código está muy bueno. T-shirt. Menos líneas de código, más legible. En fin, mejores prácticas. Bueno, nos vamos para break lunch. Nos vamos a almorzar para descansar un rato. Estaba muy pesado. Igual muchas gracias por acompañarnos en esta maratón de aprendizaje. Muchísimas gracias, muchachos. Nos vemos dentro de unos 30 minuticos a 1 hora. Bye bye.